Over in Orlando. LeBron James and the Cavaliers, Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Magic. LeBron accounted for 108 of 184 buckets for his team in this series. There's another one for him, but you know, they usually have 5 on the floor for Cleveland, and the other 4 not pulling their weight. Dwight Howard punched the clock and went to work on the Cavs bigs. ESPN Access shows him and us the way. Misses on the bank shot, the offensive board. That's bully ball. Howard all over the glass. Later in the first, off the Michael Petrus miss, Howard another stick back and the bump. 13 points, 5 boards in the first quarter. The King playing well in the first and keeping his team in it. He'll miss the 3 right out of the Dwight Howard playbook. 13 in the first quarter. Cavs down by 5 after 1 quarter. Second quarter, it's Rashard Lewis's quarter. The spin, the score. Lewis showing off the array of moves. The pull-up jumper. Put it on the deck. Head to the rim. 14 in the first half. The Magic up by 11. Later in the first, in transition, it's Anthony Johnson to Howard, the 2-hander. 21 in the first half. That's a playoff high for him. LeBron scoreless in the second quarter, to the rim. Won't go, no foul. No points in the second quarter. And after the play, Mike Brown had something to say to Steve Javie, trying to protect his guy. Brown gets teed up. Cavs down by 19 at the half. Magic hit the technical free throw to start the third. Then the Cavs get hot briefly. Mo Williams with the 3. Delonte West drives. He'll lay it in. James knocks down the transition 3 ball. Cavs go on a quick 8-0 spurt just 50 seconds in to start the third. Stan Van Gundy. Focus, people. Focus.
The Cavs on it.
If our energy doesn't go up right now, we're going to be in trouble. Now let's go.
You want energy? You get energy. Dwight Howard taking advantage of Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Hedo Turkoglu from outside. Magic back up by 14. LeBron, all the responsibility in his hands, trying to answer to the rim. Lefty layup is good. He hit the free throw. It's an 11-point game. Turkoglu drives. He can't hit, but look who's there. It's Howard one more time, and it's a 16-point advantage heading into the fourth. The folks in O-Town can smell it. Michael Petrus so big off the bench. The 3 goes. It's a 19-point lead. Next trip down for Orlando. Howard's got it again. Over that left shoulder, a couple of dribbles, hangs, and hits. It's a 21-point advantage. James can't get the 3. LeBron to the basket, right into Howard. The layup won't go. Maybe James getting a little tired at this point in the game. The mid-range jumper, the touch isn't quite there. Cavs can't come up with a comeback. Howard one more time, working over the Cavalier bigs. He finished with 40 and 14 boards on 14 of 21 shooting. And the Orlando Magic are headed back to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1995. The Shaq days, the Nick Anderson free throw, the Houston Rockets title. They win this game 103-90. Rashard Lewis chipped in with 18 and 8. LeBron, 13 in that first quarter, just 12 points the rest of the way. He finished with 25, 7 and 7. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, after 66 wins, with the MVP, with the Coach of the Year, favored to win, 4-0 in Series 1 and 2. All by double-digit wins, are out of these playoffs. The matchup that so many people anticipated, LeBron and Kobe Bryant, not going to happen. The Orlando Magic headed to the finals. I think you have noticed Jalen Rose has joined me here on set. This is one of those series that everyone thought the Cavaliers were the better team going in because of their record, because of what they'd done in the playoffs, and then you see them on the floor with the Magic and suddenly think, oh, wait a minute, that team might be better. Why were they?
You hear this more in boxing than any sport. Styles make fights. And in basketball, it's all about matchups. Look at the forwards for the Orlando Magic. Hedo Turkoglu, a 6'10 player with ball handling skills, can shoot the 3, drive to the basket, and pass. Rashard Lewis, a 3-point shooter that can drive to the basket, who's also 6'10. The forwards for and the bigs for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Anderson Varejao, basically a rebounding and energy player. The backup Ben Wallace, rebounder and energy player. So that matchup in itself help break down the Cleveland Cavalier defense, and obviously Dwight Howard against Zydrunas Ilgauskas, total mismatch.
He went right at him from the get-go. Let's talk about this game specifically, and let's start with Howard. First or second possession down the floor, he wound up with Ilgauskas on him, put it on the floor, easy bucket, and that pretty much set the tone.
See, normally the Magic like to play from the exterior to the interior because they have such great shooters. But today, an elimination game at home, they went to Dwight Howard first, allow him to set the tone, and then put the ball in the Cleveland Cavaliers court to allow them to make the decision. Are you going to double? If you're going to double, then he's going to have the ability to kick it out, space the floor, and knock down three-point shots. And we know that they can knock down threes with the best of them. Or are you going to allow Zydrunas Ilgauskas or the bigs to play on one-on-one? And if so, Dwight Howard attack. And you see with the kind of big game that he had, that he was in attack mode the entire game.
Fewer double teams tonight from Mike Brown and the Cavaliers against Howard. You saw the results. He had 40 to go with his 14 boards. Is that a tactical mistake or just something they had to try to give themselves a chance?
No, Matt, it's about picking your poison. And the bottom line is the Orlando Magic has so many matchups that they can exploit against the Cleveland Cavaliers that they went to their big man first. And plus, he was knocking down free throws. So when he's making his free throws, you can't just give him a basket and a foul because he's going to go to the line and he's making the free throws. So that allows you to have more options when you coach Stan Van Gundy, and I give him a tremendous amount of credit.
LeBron James averaged 41 points per game in the first 5 games of this series. You saw what he did tonight, 25 points. Second half looked like he lost maybe some of his legs. Looks like fatigue may have set in. Who failed him most? Obviously, he can't score 50 points a game. Where do you feel like the Cavs came up most short in terms of the supporting personnel?
Fatigue makes a coward of us all, and LeBron James was asked to do so many chores for this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Asked to lead the team in scoring, rebounding, assists, do all of the interviews, get to the free throw line, and also sell tickets. Ultimately, that's too much of a responsibility for one player. Majority, 95% of the teams that you see that actually win a championship, he has a legitimate sidekick that's actually there to play at a high level. But then that third player that you know that's going to be there to step up as well. The Cleveland Cavaliers must define those two situations.
Mo Williams was an all-star. He shot 35% the first 5 games of this series. Where was he?
Well, being a point guard, he's asked to not run the team and get 10 assists and to break down the defense in order to give up good shots and give great shots. He's out there to be a shooter and a scorer. So that responsibility ultimately falls on LeBron James. And having Delonte West and he in the backcourt, that's a small backcourt, which means when perimeter players get going, LeBron James, for example, doesn't have like a Trevor Ariza that Kobe Bryant has to take pressure off of him defensively on the perimeter.
Yep, he wound up guarding Turkoglu, wound up guarding Rashard Lewis for much of the series.